Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very exciting playday of ESA Season X. I'm McCready. Joining me today is Lane X, and it is an exciting time because for two of these teams, Season 9 might not have gone the way they expected it to, the way they wanted it to in the playoffs. However, to the new season, new beginnings, and most importantly for both teams, a fresh start to really start things strong today. Lane X, how are you feeling about joining me today?
I'm feeling amazing. I hope you're doing well as well. Man, after this off season, off time, actually here in the ESA Cup, which belongs too much, in my opinion. I mean, I was missing the games, I was missing the action and the players. So, yeah, I'm feeling amazing. I'm excited to see these teams performing. Obviously, like you said, it has not been the best season for them, but now they're going to be having a chance to change that story because they are having a fresh start as much as other teams are as well going to have this chance. So I'm really looking forward to it. Ghost Army versus CrownZero, and it's going to be an interesting BO3.
Yeah, definitely. And the big thing for me is because we have these two teams where we take a look at them, we take a look at the playoffs, and there's not really much to really talk about at the moment, but we do have information about how everything else has gone before. Like you see at the moment with the results of that first game, yes, Molotov Gang did take that win. They'll go up to that top bracket. Moving forward, though, we're going to find out who's going to be joining them up there. It's going to be one of these two teams. But like I say, there's not really much to talk about on the playoffs. So what we actually have is the head-to-head to bring up the stats of both these teams from the OPL side where all the information's kept. And when you take a look at this, the total win rate for Ghost Army is looking a lot better than CrownZero. I mean, the 60% win rate, it says a lot more than 48. A big thing for me here is that we're seeing the change in the maps. Ghost Army, the best map there is that clubhouse, whereas CrownZero are looking towards Lair. And Skyscraper, that's where the one Ghost Army want to get rid of. CrownZero just want to get rid of Nighthaven. I feel like these maps, especially Clubhouse or Ghost Army, might be a bit of a comfort pick. Whereas CrownZero, they're going out with Lair quite confident. Yeah, it might be their best map, but that win rate might actually tell a bit much of a story there.
Yes, absolutely. The maps try to show us standards and patterns, but like the season may change things around a lot, and I'm excited to see who's gonna come up on top this time. As we already have the map band image here to show how things are going to be rolling. McCready, we're talking about Chalet to begin things with. Very interesting to see always. And then the usual cafe that we know, so interesting too. Who with the
Yeah.
potential border. Let's see how teams are gonna be evolving in the series to see if border is gonna be a decider. It's gonna be activated today or not. But so far we can tell cafe always coming up, right? It was a very common and frequent choice by the teams last season, at least. Now
Yeah.
Chalet not as much. Let's see if the Chalet is still the same for them, especially with the changes upcoming with the new season and border at the end to see if it's gonna be, like I said, coming to the screen.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen like, look, let's be honest, we saw Calf 21 times last season. It's going to be at least one today. So we are going to start moving things forward because we do have all the players ready to go. I think for me, the big thing is that we saw maps like Clubhouse get taken away a lot quicker, whereas I think the best map left for the Sonic Ground Zero was left open a lot later. So I feel like that's Crown Zero just doing a bit of research and saying, where do we not want to go? The worst maps naturally got banned out pretty much straight away. Now, I feel like I think we have player information. Is that something we've got at the moment? No, we don't at the moment. That's fine. Do you want to know why? Because Lane, we're going to talk about Chalet. It is a map that I think when we've seen it in the past, we've seen that it's been quite attacker sided. And as we start going into this game, we're going to see exactly how things start off. So, Ghost Army kicking things off on the attack. This is where you expect them to really get that control, get that strong start. If they're able to do that, then they can really start moving forward. When we get to this next map, they'll be in control. The next Chalet, what are your thoughts on that map?
Yeah, like I said, very attack sided last season or recently in the game. Now that remains to be seen as it comes for when it comes to the new year, the new season. We're gonna be seeing how the attacking side is gonna be behaving, meaning Ghost Army, and how Crown Zero are gonna be defending themselves and protecting spots. I would have to say that Ghost Army now and all the other teams, considering the new sledge, some changes that we have been seeing, also Oryx. So are these operators going to come, to have a chance, or they're going to be out of consideration? We already have bans on the Ace and also Blackbeard. Blackbeard, very respected and changed,
Yeah.
as we know, too. So a lot of those modifications into potentially into the game matter can play a role as well. As we see Kaid taken out of the considerations, now the last ban. Let's see what is going to happen, McCready.
Yeah, so what we're seeing right now with Ace being taken off the board already, that is a lot of ranged hard breach that you can take away. This forces the attackers to get a lot closer, and most importantly, if you do pick that Habana, you pretty much limited to the hatches or getting very specific locations because there's always more hard breach to be done. Taking away that Ace, it's the speed, it's the range, it's got everything you need. It's kind of really a very, very strong heavy hard breach operator. As you can see, Yasuki there is going to switch on to the Thermite. The Blackbeard being taken away, like you say, it speaks for itself. He's been reworked. It's worked out very well for him because now he's getting played very little. Hayden Mirror, that makes a lot of sense. The kind of go-to defense bans, get the K-Claws off the
Defenders,
board.
protect your
You're
bombs
forcing
from
a
being
bandit
defused
trick.
by attackers.
You have a Thatcher available. You can deal with it. You just need that coordination, and that's where Ghost Army are really going to show whether they deserve to win this and whether they deserve to do better than CrownZero is if they can deal with problems like that. They know they're going in. They know there's going to be bandits on that
Bomb
bottom floor,
located
for
by
example.
attackers.
How can they deal with it? The big thing that sticks out to me, Lane, is that we're not actually going to that top floor master bedroom. We're actually heading to Bar Gaming first, aren't we?
Right. Let's see how that's gonna happen. Like you said, a lot of possibilities, both from the upper floor,
10 seconds
also
to
on the
insertion.
ground. We see already some work from Nikki already. Just using the smokes and smoke gadgets and also barricading here. We have Fleek to have an angle, to have a chance to look at the window, and those hatches also being observed and taken care of by CrownZero. I want to see how Ghost Army is gonna be doing this because they got potential to be fast. They have the operators for that, but I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna be, following up to a potential good entrance, and it's gonna
Yeah.
depend also on how CrownZero is gonna be doing their defensive job.
Yeah, now you can think Ghost Army, they've started out there going in over towards that CEO side. They want to just take that control. They realize the site, they realize what they need to do. Piano very much is the linchpin of this map in a chalet because it is so easy to swing from, it is so easy to get swung, and it gives you a really good entryway onto whichever site you need to take control of, whether it be the top floor third or whether it be master. Now, this is what the footholds that you're looking at the moment are here to do. They're here to shut down the potential of that crossfire. Those footholds, especially towards Mez, are going to make it so much harder to contest that piano player who's going to be over towards blue stairs. That means it's even harder to deal with that player on Mez, which you can see right now as Future is looking for that quick peek. Isn't going to find the first kill of this game so far. It's going to be it's going to be lit yet to come as we do approach that 1 minute 45 on the clock. Flora's getting the utility off the board on the piano window. We'll look to clear these players out. They still have one Flora's shown in pocket, and they're going to need to find that last shield on Mez, because if Tom goes in and doesn't have support, they can find a very, very bad thing coming. Future going to find that first kill. It's not going to be onto Tom. It's actually going to be onto the Ash, and the entry onto this round might be shut down. Yusuke has an answer, but Fleeks is there with another kill.
Yeah, that's good. They were pretty smart CrownZero players, I see, when it comes to looking at the spots, and then the Ghost Army attack happening but not sustaining itself with one man down here, as we have already. So we have a Tox. He's gonna go for the stairs to take a peek and see if they can go up on that spot of the map. As we already have also Yasuki, 3-man, try to lead Ghost Army in these last seconds and minute, to be fair, of the first round. But yeah, very, I would say, smart and spot on CrownZero. But then Ghost Army also trying to respond to that. Obviously, nothing is lost. Not everything is lost here. One man down, but there it is. Grim on the hands of Sanzo. Let's call him this way. A lot of consonants in that name, but there it is. Sanzo try to lead the pack. Let's see where that's gonna take us. Last 30 seconds, McCree.
Yeah, Yasuki will find a kill. The Yokai scan comes out, but Atox has an answer for Ghost Army. Now Fleeks with those Grimbees will be pushed down to the stairs, and this is where Ghost Army can push in. They have a player advantage. They know they've lost control. They have control of the site. They need to deal with the Yokai, but Fleeks is going to be the one who gets taken down.
10 seconds left.
Gypsy walks up those main stairs. Creepar comes out, doesn't find the player on Jukebox. Atox shuts it down, and Ghost Army get that first round. Very well played from themselves. I feel like they really shut it down. They knew exactly where they needed to look once they got that side control. And most importantly, they lost that first gunfight. They didn't just roll over and take it, Lane.
Yeah, it was kind of I'll say it's a phased round, right? At first, Ghost Army looking not so aggressive, but then obviously they were like building up the attack slowly, but then they were able to make the last pick, which is what matters in the end of the day, and nice positioning by the last player on the side of Ghost Army alive there. So 1 Neo, like you said, some changes on the way. Let's see how that's gonna affect the round itself. I like to see usually now like Scopos and also see how these operators gonna be combined efforts. On the side of Ghost Army, not a lot of changes, right? But again, who needs to change a team that is winning? That's the say we have out there.
Well, they're bringing in the Heartbreach, and I like that change. That's a
Right.
good one. They're also bringing out, instead of, I believe, the just trying to take a look. I'm trying to figure out who it was. Yeah, so they've swapped out that Dogby. I would like to see it, but instead of the Ash, they're actually going to bring out the Twitch. This is to get rid of that utility, really, and just make sure that they can really get control. They can get rid of utility. They know what they're going in for. And when you see the operators on the board with the defense, it makes a lot of sense why Twitch is there. Scopus, though, is an operator I do want to talk about because I don't think you've seen it a lot. The operator, the way that Fleeks was trying to play that blue stairs and CrownZero tried to play the end of that last round, that makes a lot of sense to me bringing out a Scopus. They had the potential to get down below, cause some issues. And then if they had an opportunity to flank at another angle, that really could have opened things up for them. Scopus, the operator, allows you to do that, but you will fall victim to the fact that there is an IQ on the board. And, well, those two robots are just exactly that. Ghost Army, very quick roam clear, will look to start doing some vertical work, and IQ is going to be the main driving force behind that.
Yeah, and what's good to see, also an adjustment on the side of Ghost Army. I'm talking about Yasuki changing from a potential Brava to a Thermite, knowing that Fleek is bringing Scopus, so he doesn't want to be countered. That's why the Thermite's also going to come into action for Ghost Army here. And yes, absolutely, like you said, flanking potential, but then you gotta, also get the round for yourself. That didn't happen at first for CrownZero, as they're gonna have another chance here to change things around. Future already taking a peek, and the patience gameplay style again into motion, because no one want to lose the first man. No one wants to be behind on numbers, and that's what they're aiming for. Very equal and even round at this point. And let's see if Ghost Army are going to be able to repeat the success of the first round here, McCready.
Exactly. Now, you can see the utils already starting to come out. That is because they have Dragon Ring to open this breach. Now, Future has been down, like you say. It's going to be Tom who finds the first kill, takes down Tipsy. And that's the Echo. That's the last player you want to be taken down at the start of those gunfights. Dogs will find Future as well and finally finish that player off. Bleaks doesn't have that opportunity to flank either. That drone over towards that cubby, that closet, has been taken away. This means that that player is locked in, and that's why they're starting to rotate back to site now. They can't rely on that late round swap in, and even if they do, those roamers, that roam clear is up on the top floor. Yusuke's looking for the kill, but isn't able to find it. Nick hit a beautiful shot with the SMG-11. It isn't enough to keep Scraps alive, though, as Sinzo has to find an answer. Backs up and takes down Fleeks, as Kilf takes down the last player, and that was a very calm win there for Ghost Army, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Ghost Army knowing what they got to do, and I would say playing both rounds in a different pace in a way, but being as decisive as they need to be. And in the end of the day, obviously, CrownZero, just one player, would not do much. And we have to give props to Sanzo, has been the guy to make the fights and make it happen. So I like how he's playing at this moment. And we see a little change here as Gridlock's going to come out to also, offer that kind of trap work for them, and gain terrain, and obviously make some of the CrownZero players to fall for that, for those tracksters, those stingers. So it's gonna be cool to see how that's gonna roll. And CrownZero also promoted changes, right? We're gonna have a water, and we're gonna have more potential of protecting some static spots, as I like to say, not as much when it comes to moving so much, but staying on some positions and try to obviously get Ghost Army in the last seconds.
Yeah, no, that's what I want to talk about, actually, is
right.
They're being locked into these very, very stacked positions. There's not much flexibility towards it, but I want to talk about the fact that now that may not be the case. They have the ability to go downstairs. They have the ability to rotate around, try and go up the staircase towards blue, towards main lobby. Because now, for the first time, we're actually seeing them go for that kind of standard bomb site that a lot of teams will look to go to. They've lost Bar Gaming, they've lost Kitchen Dining, they've seen how Ghost Army play those sites, most importantly. And you could argue, yeah, they're going to win this round, hopefully. That's the plan in their mind, naturally. But then they know what they're expecting when they go to those other two maps. They know how Ghost Army are going to play it. Hopefully, they'll be able to adapt to it. Now, with this, the Burmese will start to get to work, getting away that utility. The drones start to follow like normal, and the cutoff from the buck down in garage will try to shut off Dipsy. Dipsy will just rotate away, but now you can see the very difficult situation they're in. And they comes through, they're forced to run up or down out of that position. They've just found the sweet spot. The bees come through. It's such an awkward spot for Dipsy. They all know that they're there, and the nade will take them down. Beautiful utility, beautiful positioning to take down that Roma.
Yeah, the external work by Ghost Army obviously paying off and taking Dipsy down, like you said, and like we saw now. So it's a 5v4. Let's see what Yasuki's going to be able to do coming from below. He's going to have a chance to also get information from the back. And Sanzo, there it is, the guy, like we said, 2 Neo. And it's amazing to see how offensive they are, how aggressive they are, especially from attacks. 4 Neo as well, the best player so far when it comes to trading and dealing damage. On the side of CrownZero, not as much. The team is like not finding themselves at this first half, aren't they? And we have attacks already taking Flick down. It's gonna become more complicated for CrownZero as the clock goes by. Just 3 guys. Another respawn with Future. Getting this double kill also. Catching Yasuki out of surprise. Dom falls to the ground. His hips. There it is. And that's a very, that's quite a response by and from CrownZero, man.
Yeah, the blink of an eye, and things have just changed. The shield there, baiting out Sinzu as Skips is able to get another kill. That's exciting to see. That's very good. Now, Atox looking to get another 3 kills onto the board with 50 seconds left. This is where Ghost Army have realized they might actually be here to play. CrownZero, really strong round so far. I feel like Atox just go down below. We'll just have to play, maybe get a pick, maybe get a util off, do it, maybe use the scan, who knows. Realistically, in this situation, whatever they can get is a bonus, and it's just going to get Nick another kill. Very well played. I feel like CrownZero held their nerve quite well in that round. They held these key positions. That shield behind the Azami, or the keeper barrier just behind that bathtub, just gave way for such a clean kill. Ghost Army, they started out strong, but they just didn't have enough to keep it going.
Yes, absolutely. Like we said, a chance, right, to work using more angles. Obviously, after the first seconds, like you pointed out very well, a lot of those moving efforts, followed up by a more static kind of defensive effort, and it totally paid off. They finally come to the scoreboard, not the same CrownZero anymore. At least finding their own style versus a Ghost Army, and showing that they are able to point into the defensive side here. It's gonna be interesting to see how Ghost Army on their hands are gonna be responding to with almost the same choices. They're not changing that as much as for now, but let's see how they're gonna play this one, McCready, because it's getting exciting. We all love when the game gets to a more even kind of standard, or even the third map.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about that first round is I don't think CrownZero really gave it away. They didn't really contest. Let's say Kitchen Dining, they gave away that top floor quite well, quite quickly. There wasn't a lot of fight behind it. I can't say the same for the first round that we saw when they were on this site. They had a good fight. They had that contest over towards Mez and Piano. They just lost those gunfights. If they can keep going what we've just seen on that last site, they've got a good chance of it. It might just be the fact that they need to warm up. First comp game in quite a while since Season 9 of ESA, and we're lucky to have it back. Season X, by the way, guys, and a huge shout out to Ubisoft, and this is a joke, as a quick disclaimer. Branding the whole map of the EXA, and you, Lane, actually. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's your branding, isn't it?
Yeah. Lane X, like you see, the X is there. But yeah, I was just curious here, like checking upon Zofia a little bit, being brought by Ghost Army. Interesting option with those, as we know, impact and concussion grenades to break it all over. Let's see if it's gonna have an impact in this round, along with the other mates. And obviously, props again to Attacks. 5-1 in numbers, amazing work, and putting CrownZero into a spot here. But they got a chance to equalize this one as well, so it's not impossible to reverse.
And there is a big problem with Atox being the 5-1 player, the only one at this point, which in 4 rounds isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
But we need to see the rest of the team start to wake up if they want to continue this. Now, CrownZero have not had a standout player so far, but with 4 rounds in, there's the opportunity for it. They are going to push back now. Now, bringing them to here does mean that they have that soft reach, that concussion information. And as the drones come through with those bees, we might be looking for a quick kill here as we reach that halfway point.
And interestingly, I don't know if she's still on meta, okay? I'm gonna be very honest to you now, but interestingly, not seeing a Ronin, for example, on the side of CrownZero so far, considering the potential wall holes she can offer, etc. But obviously, we've been facing changes in the meta as we see already Sanzo taking scripts down, and there's the response 3-3 now. It's a very, very even round at this point. 2-2. It's amazing to see Flix taking 2 down at the same play almost. Sanzo coming from the up. He's having a chance at the stairs. He's gonna take a look, sneak peeking, getting back to the cover. 1v2. Sanzo now is gonna have to prove he's the man on the side of Ghost Army.
Exactly, and here's what we saw last time. These two exact same players rotated straight away once you hit that 30-second mark. They didn't have that player advantage, but now they do. So in other words, Jukebox Sinzo has to get those Bs out, try and stop that player from putting the pressure on them. And as the scan comes out, they know where Dipsy is, they know where Fleek is. The Yokais are still out there, I do believe. There's mod one hidden, but with time ticking down, the rotate comes out. Fleek finds a 3rd kill and gets another round on the board. There we go. And I feel like those gunfights, that's where we saw the change from CrownZero there. That's where they woke up a lot more.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Coming back to life again, right? They're kind of passive. They're feeling the game, right? And Ghost Army, they took the first window of opportunities. CrownZero now fighting better. Like you said, Nikki, he showed that previously. And we just had this very straightforward shot by Flick, which was amazing. It was kind of even looking like easy, like it's easy to do, but it's not because it's Ghost Army on the other side. But 2-2 makes everything more interesting. So I love that. I love how Sanzo was having the chance to step up again, but he wasn't able because Fleek was smart. He was already like almost waiting for him, right? With the scope opened, and it worked pretty much well for CrownZero.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy with that because, like we see, it's the fragging potential at that linchpin moment in the round, that piano area. That was where they picked up those kills. That was where they really just shown Ghost Army that they're here to play, as opposed to the last round. Now heading back to this kitchen dining, they aren't going to be bringing out that Scopus. They're going to be bringing a Warden instead. And I feel like this does make a lot more sense. We really didn't see any benefit from the Scopus as much as we wanted to. So bringing out that Warden has a shotgun, has the ability to look through those smokes and through flashbangs. And we've seen that Ghost Army are using the utility, and they are doing their best to make the most out of every flashbang, make the most out of every smoke. The Warden can look straight through that, and with a shotgun at close range,
10 seconds remaining.
Could do a lot of damage with the shield as well. I feel like we're going to see a very similar setup to what we saw before. The question is, how did Ghost Army deal with that? Are they going to go just towards that main side, or are they just going to go for that main breach? Or are they going to kind of walk into CrownZero again?
Right. Yeah, they have been falling for CrownZero, right? Like you pointed out, I don't know. Let's see, because I see some adjustments. The minor adjustments have been in the sense of trying to retain the best operators for each side. And we see that on the side of CrownZero also bringing back a Warden was one of the ops taken by them when they begin reacting to Ghost Army. And now Ghost Army also repeating the gridlock here. Let's see how that's going to be played out. We already have Atox trying to check the angle. We see Sanzo again trying to, dominate the space and obviously rotate with the drone to try to check information, see where the bomb is. Where are they going to be? How can we breach into there? That's always the challenge for Rainbow Six attackers.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing somebody going down below again, trying to put some pressure on that westbound side. However, I don't think Ghost Army agree because they want to put pressure on the windows. They want to deal with this play that's just gone down. Now, Dipsy does have the ability to see through smokes and flashbangs, but the thing they do not have the ability to survive is bullets. So they're going to get down a piano by the window. They can't get saved because look at the crossfires coming out from Ghost Army. There's a player out on the rappel holding that window. There's a player putting pressure over towards that K9 side and stopping the player from getting aggressive. And Scopes can only delay the inevitable here for Dipsy as the push does come through. Peltwell find Fleeks takes down that area as they start to move in. The impact of BMP comes out. The bulletproof gets knocked off the board. Scopes has to go for a swing as Dipsy gets taken down to 5 versus 3. A minute 20 on the clock. Ghost Army, they're going to start making their slow entry onto the site. And the Keith has to try and find out when they're going to get this gunfight. When? How are they going to stop them? Is it going to come soon? It has to. Look at all those players circling like sharks.
Yeah. Like we could expect, Toms, and also Atox falling down. They had low HPs, and I like how CrownZero, even though they lost the first battles, they're like resisting now, and putting the feet and saying, okay, we're still alive, we can still do this. And we have Yasuki and mostly Kill guy. How do you call this guy? Kill guy. I'm gonna call him Kill F. I'm gonna call him Kill. You know, the guy with
Yeah,
gridlock. It's gonna be Kill for me. I'm just
yeah.
yeah.
I
I
think
can't
that's
do
fair.
more than that. I'm sorry, but
It's fine.
amazing effort. Like resistance, like I said, and the attack's gonna come from Ghost Army. Having to be very precise and lethal here. We have the angle from Nikki though to see from the cross angle. Double kill by Key, and yeah, Kill taking scraps down. Now
Yeah,
he's
but,
pretty much low on life.
yeah, but look at the time. Look at how much time's been wasted by Nickit, who's still
Right.
here. Finds a kill at the Tom, does get taken down by Yasuki, who's going to get that confirmed, but now it's down to Future. Future, just wait, the SMG gets the case, gets one, pulls out the shotgun, gets the second, and CrownZero will win Kitchen Dining, and that is a tense moment. You see the second player dropping, you have the magazine in your hand, and that's going to be CrownZero. The time wasting was crucial because it forced those attackers down that hatch. It forced them to just drop without droning, without info, when they had that top floor control so much sooner if they just killed Nickit. So really, that round has to go to the Bandit on that one, and very well played as well.
Yeah, it was an amazing combination, right? In the split of seconds, we never know like what exactly can be so well coordinated, but hey, it just worked out very well for them, like you said. So that's what matters. And I am quite sure that yeah, there wasn't a strategy behind that shotgun because it was very precise, very fast, and the
Yeah.
guys just fell to the death. I love how CrownZero are reversing this one. The game is changing. Ghost Army is not the same anymore, and it's going to be on them to change around things before we also flip the sides, see if they can still catch 1 or 2 rounds to not look so bad in the end of the map.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, Chalet is the map that is typically attacker-sided. I think 60% was what we took a look at before when we started the map. But
Right.
with this map as well, it is a case of this is Ghost Army's map pick, if I'm not mistaken, and they did get given that attacking side. So let's be honest, Lane, when you are playing on a team, you do not go to a map unless you know how to defend it. It is pretty much rule one of comp. You've got to defend the map before you try it and just say, yeah, we'll win the attack. It doesn't go the other way around. Ghost Army should have something to really step up on, but CrownZero have really made this their own. Heading down to the bottom floor site, I'm expecting a lot of roam play, just from the lines of sight we're seeing already. They got all that information so somebody can play towards that bar gaming side. And right now, the drones are going to come through. They know that Vigil's on the roam. They know that they're going to have to deal with it. And that's exactly how this game is going to start. Skips will drop down with that posse ACOG. Not as powerful as it was before, but at this close range inside the site lane, it can still do a massive amount of damage.
Yeah, it can. And also on the top of that, CrownZero having a lot of information, especially with bulk. So Warden, so it's gonna be complicated for Ghost Army to, be aggressive on this one. I would say using all the resources and committing so heavily to a certain room, because like you said, we're gonna see a lot of those potential fights inside of small spaces. It's a very well designed round, and I'm looking to see what is gonna happen. CrownZero are gonna be expanding this to 4-2, or they're gonna be falling for an equalizer here, because that's everything Ghost Army needs and wants.
Yeah, exactly. The Ghost Army realistically need that time before they go into the defense. So you can say quite comfortably they've got a really good chance at winning. CrownZero, they need this round. Get onto the attack. 2 rounds, that's match point. Good. The vertical work is starting from Ghost Army. Nobody's fallen just yet, which means, like you say, Skips has gone back to that top floor, and now they have to deal with these track stingers. Luckily, Future's there to help deal with it, but it's going to be the impact nade. Shotgun or tactics is what we're looking for. The gunfight comes out. Guilt goes down. The refrag does come down, but onto Skips, and Future's taken down very, very low. Atox there with the Bravo drones, but that's the secondary shotgun off of that gridlock. That's the track stingers taken away. And that does mean that as we hit that 1 minute mark on the round, the player goes to blue. Fleeks will get taken down. Why is that happening? They're trying to support the rest of the team, but they've just given themselves away. But 50 seconds ticking down now. Ghost Army needs to start focusing on this side. They cannot afford to focus upstairs now. With 3 players on the defense, Nickit going down to make it 2. 40 seconds ticks down. The blue pressure goes in lane, and the end game's beginning.
Yeah, we see Talks to finish this one versus Future, who was the first player, by the way, on the side of CrownZero to retain the spot to resist the opponent. But then he was like heavily damaged when it comes to his life bar.
Yeah.
And after that, Ghost Army, stepping up and showing, okay, we can still attack this one. I love how attacks, he ignored the stairs and all, obviously all the traps that he had there. He had to move forward and he pushed the team going forward. And yeah, 3-3. So all in all, like, it's a very much even game now. Like you said, let's see how Ghost Army is going to be behaving on the defensive side from zero to attack and try to regain the momentum they had some rounds back ago. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see anyways.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm really excited to this. Just now we've hit that side split. Now we're still going to see Ghost Army on the defense, see what they've got cooking in store. CrownZero, that round did not go the way they wanted it to, but that's fine. You're going on to the attack now. We're going to reset the mental. Yeah. This is, let's look at the stats. It's a 60% attacker-sided map. I know I've just said that doesn't mean the end of the world for Ghost Army, but still, it's not the end of the world for yourselves. You can still have a really good opportunity, a good attacking side. What I want to see is exactly what, from CrownZero, exactly what Ghost Army did towards the end of that last round. It was just cutting players off. It was just being ready and having players in these key positions. A player on elbow, a player on blue ready to deal with that player pushing up. The player on main stairs ready to refrag, or piano to refrag and execute. And CrownZero, they just seem to keep ahead of what they did last round, which they did so well as well. They're very good at wasting this time. And if they can control the clock as well on the attack as they do on the defense, and be so aware of how it works when they both their executes, they can really catch Ghost Army off guard. CrownZero will not be caught off guard, however. Future gets taken away, and that is the Ash, the opening entry player you'd expect to see being picked off straight away.
Right, you just phrased very well and nicely in the last comment, because yes, it comes to the defensive consistency of Ghost Army now, but also like how much of CrownZero they can control when it comes to the clock, how fast they can attack. And also, Ghost Army, they were like falling for those traps and losing time. As we see already, Toms against Nikki. Nice breaching. Gypsy taking Toms down. 4v3. And Gypsy very bravely with the shield. Not enough though. Down to the ground kill. Finishing him off 4v2 here. McCready, interesting effort by CrownZero, but not enough. Ghost Army resisting.
Yeah, very nice jump in from Tom, from CDev. Waited until the doc got a kill and walked away and they heard it. Jumped in, got a refrag. Really awkward positioning. The numbers of Ghost Army just made it so easy to just shut this down. Now, Fleeks and Skips are left in a 2v4. Fleeks is going to get taken down by that massive bounce from his side. And Skips doesn't have a claymore to work. Oh no! What happened? They didn't have a claymore. So the jump went out, the C4 baited, They weren't even able to hit the C4. That might have been a controller issue there. Nevertheless, the jump out comes out. Ghost Army will get their 4th round and their 1st round on the defense. Unlike CrownZero, going for that top 4 site master bedroom first time of asking. And most realistically, they needed to do that. They needed to get this round back in their favor and just keep that lead that they seem to have lost a little bit. But
right. Crazy finish.
Yeah.
But now Ghost Army to I don't know, man. I don't know. That was crazy round. Let's see how they're gonna be able to keep this one up with Legion. From what I've seen, Legion obviously not the same, or not maybe able to check on all those spots like he was before. One last game mine, and obviously like the increased cooldown, excuse me, when it comes to the mine. So I don't know. Sanzo, he proved himself to be a very nice and consistent player. But yeah, it's a different scenario, and Ghost Army needing to have their collective all put together because it's the defining moment. They are ahead. The CrownZero are dangerous. They're kind of a tricky team, right? They can reverse things around very fast.
Quite liking the Monty being brought out on this one. I've noticed Shields in the last season, especially, really started in season 9, really had a dominating presence with Blitz and Monty. Gypsy's going to be keeping to that. They're going to be bringing out that Monty in this game. And there's a good reason for that. You think, look at this piano section. We talked about how important this piano hallway was before the start. We're going to talk about it again. Having that Monty, it's so much easier in his attacking team to get in there, get the information, work out where these players are, put in utility. The Monty just makes it so much more simple. It makes it so much easier. You save a lot more time doing it as long as Dipsy plays together and coordinates with the team. If they could do that, the round's over before it begins, really. They take piano control, they start getting bird control, they hit the execute onto site. They've got those shock operators of the Sense, the Capital, and the Brava. They could go for a really fast execute here, but they need all those pieces in play. Filth there with the Wamai will be able to catch some of these smokes coming out. Please take some damage. No real pressure coming out now as Tips will start to move in that main lobby. As you can see, this Sense there now has the opportunity to lower them at will. It's not going to be helping out Sinzu. Sinzu again taking down. Atox to follow. Yusuke getting down as well. Future walking in. Confirms the kill.
Amazing. Yeah, Future. Very, very good sequence by him. We have a 4v2 and Q taking Future is good. It could be a response. Let's see if it's going to be enough because Tom's also with him and Dipsy now resisting to the end of the round. I was going to point how tough it was to him to stay alive. And obviously with Monty, things are changing and have changed clearly. 3v2 yet. It is Q now. Yeah, trying to see what else he can do. It's a complicated round for both sides. CrownZero, yeah, looking strong, looking able to step up, but Tom is just washing them away. He's so decisive so far, 7-5 for both players.
Yeah, now, look at this. I feel like time ticking down. And few players, that isn't so important. Now Dipsy does have a shield in front of them, and that means that, yes, they cannot take bullets, but they can't dish out a lot of fighting. Skips is going to have to put a lot of the heavy lifting in here for the gunfights. More utility goes down, the Goo Mine goes out, will do that damage if he doesn't take it out in time, which just wastes more. And that's the important thing here. The drops are covered. I'm expecting to see a little bit of a moment like we saw on that kitchen dining that last time. Will we expect this? Now Future will disconnect. This means we might have a little bit of a pause, a bit more time to talk about things. And as the flame comes out, Dipsy's going to fall. Skips knows there's a player in stock, knows they're going to have rotated, has to drop. The audio course given the swing comes out from Kill. He will not find a kill, does the damage, goes to the swing. It's going to be Tom getting that round. And Ghost Army will pick up a 5th round and the 2nd round on the defense.
Amazing by Tom, right? He's playing in all possible ways and obviously also enjoying the last seconds as we had CrownZero with one last man. So potentially going for a pause here because Ghost Army is just doing what they need to do. 2 rounds in a row is very much important for them. Annihilating and I would say nullifying that Monty from CrownZero, right, McCready?
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I quite like what Ghost Army have done. I mean, they are currently going in. They brought it back. They lost a couple of rounds. They were quite shaky at the end of their attacking side because CrownZero really started to wake up and really just played some good siege. Once we hit that flip, though, Ghost Army, they shown why they picked Chalet. There was confidence. There was knowledge. They knew exactly why they were in certain places and where. And they've just shown up just a confidence that they're taking these gunfights. We're seeing these gunfights come out so quickly. They lost 3 players in the blink of an eye in that last round. And the rest of their players were still able to just lock it down and clean it all up. CrownZero, with 3 rounds to go before they can hit that match point, have given Ghost Army a lot of breathing room. One more round and we get that match point, and they go to kitchen dining. If they win this, they can go back up to that top floor, and that is a site where we expect them to win because you saw how dominant that was the first time. CrownZero, I don't think aggression is the key that we need for this. I think coordinated aggression. How are they going to push together? How are they going to make the most of, say, a Monty on that top floor? And with the utility, they have the utility like a Capital Smoke Bolt. They have utility like the Sense gadget as well. A lot of that could be coordinated maybe a little bit tighter to make it so that when it is being used, there's something tangible that they can get. Not just, yeah, we're going to just walk in. We're not going to get spotted over by kitchen side. Have somebody holding it, yeah. If you need to use that utility, do it, but make sure there's something at the end of it for you. You either need to get a game based off time, based off kills, or based off plants, realistically, when you're going in with an attack. So what were they getting in these situations? They need to maximize what they get out of it. Probably not the best explained, but we'll take it from there.
You were amazing, to be honest. And as we see the replays, absolutely. I mean, it's a matter, and it's about how CrownZero are gonna be, tightening things up, like bringing these elements together, like you put together. uh because yeah, Monty and Sans, and then you cannot lose the round, so it was not the case for them. Ghost Army were able to punish on that, and it's making things a little similar to what happened in the last major between unnamed and Face Clan. I remember just a line of the caster saying that unnamed were precisely putting the traps out there, and Face Clan was falling for them, but unnamed was not following up. So it seems almost the
Mm.
same frame here. I know it may be a stretched comparison, but anyways, yeah, they need to make sure they capitalize on decisions, and especially on those ops against Ghost Army.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not something too difficult to do. It's something that they can definitely pick up and definitely switch up very quickly in these last couple of rounds. Now, Ground Zero, they have a lot of opportunities to kind of figure out how they want to deal with this. They need to win the next couple of rounds. You can't deny it. Don't get me wrong, but they do need to really, start. This is the crunch time. They can't afford to lose this round because, like we said, if this round gets won out by Ghost Army, they're going back to the top floor on that match point. If they can stave that off, they're going back up to the top floor, but Crown Zero have another round on the board. This realistically is a must-win round for them in the same way it is for Ghost Army. Because I don't really want to see us going in 2 rounds' time straight to the next map. I would rather be seeing us going, giving it a little bit more time before we head over towards Kappa than maybe Border. And I, I want to look at the stats as well. I mean, we're seeing a very consistent game from Crown Zero, but it's been very key players at very key positions. The thing is, Ghost Army, they've got a lot more players, not as consistent, but the average is a lot higher for kills on that, isn't it?
It is, and yeah, some players obviously being decisive in some situations. I would say some oscillations happened on both sides. So you had obviously Sanzo, for example, being very, very key to Ghost Army in the first half, but then obviously Tom also grew to the occasion, especially after the flip. And on the side of Crown Zero, the same happened as we had like Fleek making some nice picks. Nikki was good when Crown Zero had to defend and buy time. So obviously the players are feeling the championship, right? Like we said before, it's
Yeah,
a new season, and all of them are gonna have to, get polished, get warmed up, and geared up for this new season on ESA Cup. It's a very, very new brand chance that they have also to, yeah, improve the, I would say, the synergy they have as a squad. And I'm eager to see how that's gonna happen. I like what I see so far, McCready, from both sides, and I'm just
yeah.
hoping Ground Zero they find connection conditions again to get back to the battle.
And I think the best part about this is, like we say, it is a new choice, a chance. It is a new season, and we do have the playoffs, so we can show you that actually now while we do wait for this, because you can see when we take a look at it, it's not the end of the game. We can see quite clearly in some really nice graphics actually that you got to get to round three before you actually get knocked out realistically. So the first round is the one we're on at the moment. We have some really fun games coming up. I think MG Minions is always a logo that will always impress me. Um, when we when we go through that, Molotov Gang have already gone up. Whoever joins them will just go up. Whoever loses will just go down a little bit. They still have that opportunity, like you say. They can go down, lose this next game, and then win the next two and still qualify. It's not over for them just yet. They just need to make sure that even if they do lose this game, it's not it. And that goes through whichever team loses today. I'm not saying Crown Zero are going to lose. I mean, we're only one map in. I think that's a pretty sweeping statement on not their map pick, wouldn't you say?
Yes, yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a very interesting layout that we have here. Again, this format of the championship is very, very much fair to the effort of the teams that need adjustments. And as we see, Molotov Gang obviously coming to a first victory and already stepping up. They were the champions on the last season. That's definitely one of the teams we have to keep an eye on. But the other teams also having a lot of work to do, and having the chance to show themselves again. Interesting to see LDL, for example. As we know, LDL Valor also getting ahead in the last season. They're gonna have to show if they're up to repeat into the playoffs what they did in the league phase. Let's say it this way. So it's a very interesting prospect, I would say, for all of them to make these adjustments and potentially even make some changes on the rosters eventually if necessary. But let's hope for a stable season here.
Let's let's not get a let's not get ahead of ourselves with roster
Right.
changes right now.
Right,
It's
yeah.
only round one into the season so far, and game one for both of these teams. We are going to take a very short break though, because we are going to have to quickly rehost this game, and that means that we will be back later. But when we do, we'll be going straight back into that game to make sure that we can get straight back into the action. So make sure you don't go anywhere.
And back we are for the follow-up in this first map, best of 3. Ghost Army versus CrownZero. And this is Lane X speaking to you guys. I have McCready with me. McCready, let's go for the final portion of this battle. 5-3, Ghost Army raising the bar here.
Yeah, I mean, 5 rounds so far, only 2 away from closing this first map out of their first game in the season. They're looking to do this on this very top floor site. It's not the top floor site. That's kitchen dining. They want to go down there, get that match point, then maybe go to the top floor site.
5 seconds left.
But you want to know what impresses me the most, Lane? Is they've done it with 0 kills.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Yeah, oh my god. No, it
Yeah.
took some seconds to digest that one.
No, we had a good look at the scoreboard before we stopped, and a lot of the
Yeah.
Ghost Army players have really stepped up in a massive way. We're seeing 6, 7, and I think Atox on 9 really coming in with some impact picks. I know you putting out quite a bit. On the flip side, CrownZero, they had pretty much broken even entirely in kills and deaths, so they were all 4 and 7. So I think the gunfights now, once they're going back onto the attack in these last crucial rounds, that's where they're going to need to really start to shape things up if they want to show that they're going to win, shall I?
Right. And like we said also previously, some players, offering those qualities, offering force and killing a lot. And now it's down to how CrownZero are going to be dictating the pace. It's cool to see the Sands again on the hands of Deepsy. He's the guy to go from Monty to Sands now. Is that going to be interesting for them to use? Let's see. It's obviously it's a very, very key op. And we have also the most broad camera here just to check how the defensive efforts by Ghost Army are being set up and laid out, and we're gonna see that now on the POV of Q. He's gonna be able to maybe check on that angle, and I like the combination dual players here all together, embracing themselves into that room, because that's what they need to do. They need to resist. I would say they need to save and manage their energies now, because CrownZero is gonna come for a full attack potentially.
Yeah, the reason you see Kill standing over towards K9, trying to get aggressive on that doorway, is because of this span. They have the decision on CrownZero: bring a Thermite, bring a Havana. Havana takes too long; it's too easily bandited. Thermite's not much better, but it is a bit better. It is a little bit quicker. They will have a bit more time, a bit less time to get a bandit charge on there. That's why we're seeing that ace bang come out. Future, though, will be looking to just walk away. Doesn't care about the breach. Will just care about that pick. And we'll find a kill off the board. The breach does get open. Seems he gets 1 kill. Looks for a second and finds it. Looks towards Mez. Doesn't spot the player behind the fireplace, but it doesn't matter because they've just escaped with their life. And 40 seconds on the clock there, Lane. A beautiful kill there. And the fact that it went unpunished, so horrible. And you've got to remember, this is still kitchen dining.
Yeah. And it was amazing how Ghost Army were able to respond, because, the first pick by Future was very precise, and then we had the response by Sunzo and Toms and Flake down 2, so it's a 3v3. And CrownZero suddenly looking,
15 seconds
I don't
to
know, not in a very good spot, because the Tox also takes Deepsy down, Nikki, takes Q down 2v2, and it's gonna be the last seconds. CrownZero gonna be able, Yasuki, nicely done. A Tox versus Scraps. Scraps was the one to win this battle here. Very, very good pick. There it is. They bring their point again. It was so even, right? I mean, back and forth. 1 kill here, 1 kill there. So, and that's how we saw the match point coming to the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it going back and forth, like you say. It always just happened to end up Ghost Army's way. But then it just came to that last bit. Scripps, a really good kill, really good opportunity. The only problem was that time had been wasted, time had been taken because they had to
Right.
waste so long trying to get these walls open, trying to get everything sorted. And by that point, Atox could just run away, play this time, That was beautifully done. Again, though, Sinzu, what an aggressive swing out on Mez. That was the round changer for me. If the round wasn't one for Ghost Army at that point, I can't really say when it was, you know? Going on to this last site, like I said, they're going to be heading to the top floor. It's the same site, the same principle in terms of defense. They have a lot more reinforcements to use, a lot more time for the attackers, at least on this top floor, but it's a lot tighter. The last time we were here, we saw a very dominant defense from Ghost Army.
Yeah, and Ghost Army looking so good. I would say even a little more solid on the battle side of things as
10
most of the
seconds to
first
go.
half. Tom's very precise as always, bringing the duck. So
5
it's gonna be
seconds
cool.
left.
It's gonna be cool to see
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. The CrownZero down to their last chance as they bring Monty again into the hands of Deep Sea. See how aggressive he's gonna be able to do and how coordinated the attack's gonna be. Because, you know, when it comes to the operator's choices, they have not been changing as much, right? The map has been revolving around some of the usual picks on both sides. And it's cool because we got more material to study on the teams. So it's a 6-3-3 now. And I want to see the chat also saying who they're going to be vouching for as Ghost Army, you know, potentially get close to dropping the map.
Yeah, now there's no guarantee they're going to do it, but for me, CrownZero need to wake up on the Franks a little bit more. And then last round, they only picked up 4 kills, and well, that's not too bad because, you know, that's 4 out of 5. There's only 1 kill each. They need to be getting something more. That's about 5 kills for each player when you think about the overall stats. Now, a minute already into this round, the attackers have already started to put pressure over towards Mez. One thing I did notice was that with the Monty, they've been a lot more aggressive. Both teams have been in this map a lot quicker than a lot of teams will typically be. Let's be honest, a lot of people will sit there and waste ages. Not these teams, though. They're already in. We hit that 2-minute mark, and we're already seeing possible gunfights come out. The Ash down below will be looking to get that util off the board. Looks like the bandit trick is going to come out. Thatcher EMP will be something to shut it off, but Tom with a kill is going to be taking away Dipsy, making sure that Monty is not going to have as much impact as it did in the previous rounds. Skips finds Atox, that key player being taken off the board, but you've got to remember, Ghost Army halfway through the round, they still have another 4 players that can all really step things up. No Monty on the board means this execute might be a bit more difficult.
Right, and it's proven very, very tough for them to use Monty indeed. A very blasty and fast response by Ghost Army, taking him down. And as you mentioned, 1 man down, an operator down. It's gonna be complicated to you know, make the dash, make the aggressive entrance here. As Q takes Future down as well, and Ghost Army looking more and more solid as the clock goes by. We also have the chance to see a little bit of how Flick's working. Try to catch. We have also Scraps slow alive, but he's still alive, still active. Try to defend here and move forward. Scraps be almost, you know, checking someone's gonna come by, and Ghost Army killing and waiting as well. And I like this. Yeah, the keep a barrier placing a lot of you know, barriers and walls here for kill in this moment.
Yeah, and realistically, you look at that. Ash is the only player that can deal with them. They don't have any charges left in pocket. Doesn't matter because there's 20 seconds left. Skips has to go in that window or at least cover the cutoff. If Sinzu gets taken down, then they need to cover the cutoff. But Konsu will keep Sinzo on the board. They did go down, but now they're going to be taken off the board. Beaks finds 2. Looks for another one, but the C4 comes out, and Yasuki shuts it down with a beautiful pre-play C4 ready in case they lost that half wall. That was how they were going to lose. That's how they were going to win that round. And lane, they will take Chalet. They played very, very well, very aggressive. And Tom, that dock at the end got 2 players back on the board that had a massive impacts in the round. An incredible game. And like, the scores don't look at not anything great to look at in terms of KDA, but in terms of the whole game, there was a lot in there. I was very happy to see that. Ghost Army played well. The question is, can they keep it going?
Right, can they keep going, especially onto the second map? And about CrownZero, we just have to mention that Fleek was, you know, the pillar. He was trying to keep the whole crew alive. It was impossible for him. He made a massive amount of kills as well, but it was not enough because you know, again, it was down to the entire squad on the other side going against you. So it was tough for him, even though we had some moments from some players on CrownZero. We still need to see them, you know, being better at the collective side of things, especially if they want to take Ghost Army down into the second map, as we know that the players are already ready in this case, but Ghost Army, they really increased their unity and cohesion, wouldn't you say? Especially in the second half, moving from a 3-3 to 6, and they were a better team. That's just the first thing to say. Even
Yeah.
though CrownZero, they had a disconnection situation that could cool off the lads, but that's not the only way to explain the victory on the side of Ghost Army.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those when you can't really say that was the defining factor. But Ghost Army, they ran with it, they took it, they ran with it, they played very well. They are going to be heading on to CAF one round up, and that's a good thing. I feel like CrownZero, the frags, just the gunplay, the gunfights, they just need to be tightened up a little bit more. Not necessarily flank watch, not necessarily what they're doing is wrong. They just need to be a little bit tighter together and being able to win these gunfights. On a map like CAF, their strats are going to be helped out quite a bit, definitely, when we go onto that map now after a short break. But I feel like if they could just get those guns down, we go into a third map. It's just, can they do it? But Lane, we're not going to be heading there for a moment at the moment. We are going to be taking a short break before we get in there. I know we've just had one, but we're going to have another one. So just to make sure you have a bit of time to get a drink, get some food, and be back soon.
Right. And back we are with the following of our game, our number 2 map. It's gonna happen now. It's gonna be the match 2 as well in the championship. So I'm Lanex, and I'm alongside Mr. McCready for Cafe Dostoyevsky, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like this is a map that CrownZero might do a lot better on. There's a lot of opportunity to rely on the strategies that have been provided, especially with a freedom of movement that you don't really get on the attack, but you do get on the defense. But then it comes down to a well-regimented and a well-coordinated team to be able to stop that, especially on the attack. So I feel like CrownZero, what they've shown us on Chalet is the strategy is there. We just need to get the gunfight up. Ghost Army, they just need to keep doing what they were doing in that second half of that game. 3 rounds on the trot, they were able to win it out and close things down on Chalet. Now, looking towards this, I know we haven't actually looked at it yet. I know it is a highly anticipated part of the part of the games that we do. We have actually got predictions that we haven't shown so far, so we might as well have a little moment and see where we stand. Just the 3 on
Right.
the screen as the second, but then there you go. It's all starting to fill out, and it looks a lot more Ghost Army than CrownZero, doesn't it?
Right, it does, especially given the recent performances on both sides, like we said before. When it comes to the previous seasons, and Ghost Army inspiring more confidence from our staff and casters and producers, because they have once upon a time been champions, and the same did not happen for CrownZero. So it's going to be interesting to see, in fact, right, what the game's going to be telling us, because that's what matters inside of the maps. And Cafe is going to be a very cool story to tell, as Ghost
Yeah.
Army, I would say they have a better precision when it comes to delivering the bullets. They did that on to Chalet, so let's see if they're gonna be able to repeat that on Cafe. And as you posed well, CrownZero, they have to be better at that moment of the battle, because the battle as well matters, and it's gonna be a challenge for them. I think obviously they got some space to fix those things over the season, but now let's try to fix that already inside of the game, right? Because they
Yeah.
still got a spot here versus Ghost Army.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I feel like the big thing here is there's so much more confidence on the side of Ghost Army that CrownZero need to be able to deal with, because they can deal with it. They can win these gunfights, but the gunfights that are going against them, I don't think they're expecting them, which is why they might not be seeing these rounds go in their favor. They might not be seeing things go the way they want them to. For example, we saw Q in the last round of that last game would swing 2 windows, get 2 kills, and the attackers just didn't know what was happening. But I know what's happening right now, Lane. We're heading into our second map, Kaf Dostoyevsky, and one that where the last one you can kind of get away with getting a lot of work out of the attacking side. Kaf is a lot more punishing for an attacking team that cannot coordinate and cannot effectively work, especially on that top floor. That top floor is so difficult if you do not know how to play a basic game of Siege. If you don't know how to coordinate, how to flank watch, and kind of where you need to go to deal with each obstacle. Stance is going to be banned out first.
Yeah, we won't have sense. So obviously that barrier It's not going to be present on to the second map as we see Ghost Army going for their ban, and it's going to be interesting indeed to see the comparison between the maps. As we know, Cafe way larger than Chalet. How teams are going to be behaving onto that. Ace not into the game again. Very persistent ban on both sides here
Yeah.
today, McCready.
Yeah, again, it's an operator that just it's fast, it's quick, it's ranged. That's pretty much what you don't want to have as a defensive side. So it makes a lot of sense. Ghost Army starting on that defense. They are going to be wanting to take that operator off the board. The Azami going to follow as well, and this is what Ghost Army I'm surprised to see. Purely because Ghost Army really liked using that as Army. They really enjoyed getting used to those keeper barriers, using those positions to really make that favorable angles for themselves and put CrownZero in difficult spots. Having that on the defense could really benefit them, but they've decided not to go for it. CrownZero doing kind of the same thing. They're taking out Echo, which was one of their kind of key operators on the defense, actually, especially on those kitchen dining grounds.
Yeah, some crossed bands here, if we can say this if we can put it this way, excuse me. And it's interesting indeed to see the lack of or the absence of Azami, because that goes to show maybe a potential strategy by Ghost Army, right, to deny kind of an easier to use operator for CrownZero whenever CrownZero is going to defend. So Ghost Army is morally taking away from their opponents this potential option or tool for the game, and I'm eager to see how they're going to be attacking now as we already hop into the first round, and how CrownZero are going to be attacking. Now, CrownZero, they were, I would say, you know, smart and strong and consistent defending, and after that, the attacking on Chalet, they need to find their style again. They need to be better at coordinating those pieces, because that's not what we saw when they're trying to attack. Deep Sea, having trouble to lead the charge in some occasions. We also could not see much from other operators. So yeah, I'm going to see how CrownZero are going to be dictating the pace, because that's what they need to do. They have already seen, right, McCready, that Ghost Army, they like to set the pace. If they don't do anything, Ghost Army are going to set the pace and are going to do their homework.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Here's one of the things I noticed. With the Azami being taken off the board, it means that Ghost Army have gone for a different approach, which they would expect to do. Like you say, they know they're going to know what they're doing. Like CrownZero know what they're doing with Echo. So what you're seeing is the cigar lounge or the cigar shop hold, and that's where they've got the castle barricades to back them up. The Azami barricades are normally played in that piano side. It's something that is very, very strong, and so you can deal with very well with an attack against an attacking team. So that's been taken off the board. They're not going to worry about that. They're going to go back to something a little bit older. They've reinforced our cigar hatch so they can play in that area, watch the drop on red. I think CrownZero may have run into it because they're over towards this east side now. They're wanting to take a look. They're wanting to just avoid that entirely, maybe have a fast push. They don't have anyone like an Amory, but they do have operators that can really facilitate that. The Blackbeard being allowed in as well. Maybe go for a drop on Skylight. At least definitely take some peeks. Maybe a gunpoint or two. The fire comes out. The Grim Scan does follow. OQ will be looking to keep that, but Atox gets taken down.
Wow.
Fleeks is going to find Tom as well. And a very good start here for CrownZero.
Absolutely, and paying off on the choices, and as we have already, like obviously Sledge, we have Demons, interesting choices, differently from what we've seen, obviously into Chalet, different map, definitely. So 5v3, and CrownZero looking very, very solid. We have an angle from Sanzo, try to rotate, also on the third floor. Let's see how he's gonna be protecting that spot, because Scraps, yeah, he's got the information, he's got the drone, he's just trying to find the spot to breach in. That's what he wants. That's the new Sledge. Let's remember that it's a faster one indeed in the season. So, but they got Capitan. They got a lot to use here, even inside of the bomb side, as Yazuki takes Future down. Cool response, and just trying to cool off CrownZero.
I mean, yeah, might be needed. CrownZero have slowed down a bit, but this isn't a bad thing. This is because they've been taking their time. The drop does come out from Nikki, though, down to the red stairs. Gets get knifed out by Zinzu. He's going to take him down. He takes a lot of damage trying to jump in. It feels like CrownZero is stalled out now. They've hit a wall of bullets, and they don't know how to push through. Fleeks has walked into bar. Will try to push forward. They can go for a plant, but they don't have the case. They know the player's there, and Chop in the swing does come out. It's not going to happen now. Pushed in between a rock and a hard place. Zinzu finds that kill and puts Skips into a 1 versus 3. 30 seconds on the clock. It's just not going to happen, Lane. And realistically, that was so good from Ghost Army. They got that utility. They got 2 players off the board so quickly. And they had another player over towards that red side, that cigar shop, inched so beautifully. They couldn't go piano because the defenders had already blocked that off. That wasn't an option. They couldn't drop the cigar hatch because that had been reinforced. There was a player on Skylight, a player on the red hatch, and they could just shut down the movement of that player entirely. It just fell apart when Nickit went in. It went so well, but I feel like CrownZero, they got from A to B really well,
Yeah.
and then B to C just was not happening. And I feel like that's where they stalled out. Ghost Army heading down to the bottom floor after taking advantage of it, picking up maybe a first round they didn't necessarily deserve. Be 2 more rounds before CrownZero
Bomb
have another
located
chance
by
at that.
attackers.
Yeah, and on the top of everything you pointed out, it's cool to see with this classical background now to cheer us up. It's cool to see from Ghost Army, you know, the ability to punish. And I say that precisely because we could catch Fleek needing to have the trigger discipline as he didn't have. He was kind of anxious. He was just going for the
10
bullets, and
seconds
that's
to
how he
insertion.
was flanked out by Sanzo, rotating on the side, and Sanzo was able to punish him on that matter. So Ghost Army, yeah, capitalizing on the lack of patience, or maybe on the, you know, agitation onto the CrownZero flanks here. But you know, one way or the other, 1-0. So Ghost Army opening the map very well. And here bringing this Warden and Doc, also Kaid to increase those defensive efforts. Let's see how that's gonna go, because CrownZero, they have Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought there's been as much of a benefit out of these shields. I mean, I know Dipsy likes it. I know it's something we've seen a lot in this season, in this league. Haven't seen enough benefit out of it to justify it. They've maybe got a couple of kills, maybe a refrag or two, but there's not been much more behind it. There's not been much control taken off the back of it. There's not been much information gathered in the cases of Monty. I feel like maybe we could have got a tracking operator here. We could have got a Jack or someone to clear the roam, or someone to deal with utility, like a Twitch or a Thatcher on the board. Something like that could have maybe had a lot more impact, because Dipsy's going in that area by their own. I need to see now a little bit more. They need to convince me that this is a good pick.
No, I agree. Yes, they need to show that they have a strategy behind that play. It's because it's been tough for them. They haven't been able to use, obviously, Blackbeard since it was banned on the first map. Now, it will be an option here, like you pointed out very wisely, but also the RAM to create that distraction or to open the information from a vert perspective. But I agree with you. Like, CrownZero need to show more. The game is flowing, and Ghost Army, they are being the better side to this point. So far, as we already have the image from the up, we see a little bit of Blitz, obviously rotating into the stairs to try to, you know, make that flashy, surprising attack. Yeah, 1 minute down to the clock, and we're gonna see Future being the first one to step in with scraps. Let's see that duo working.
Yeah, not a massive amount of verticality done now. That's going to ramp up right now. That hatch gets opened up with the impact EMPs. The RAM has started making the verticality, but there's nothing really gained out of it. CrownZero haven't really taken much control of the verticality, and neither has Ghost Army. So as time just starts to tick down here, more Hambana pellets go down. That Blitz is going to get noisier and a lot more aggressive as the round goes on. And let's just see the impact they're going to have. That hatch opens up a C4. An impact goes off and a C4, but finds nothing. And with 30 seconds ticking down, this execute from CrownZero is going to follow. Blinks over towards that hatch, will look to drop. Dipsy with the case will have to be the one to take this gunfight, get that plant down. But Atox finds the key. It skips, has to find it, has found an answer. But Future has one of their own. 2 kills now in favor of the attackers. Quick to be evened out and taken again by Creed, who's going to be swinging towards this freezer side. Blitz all on their lonesome will be shut down by Sinzu. And I will give them credit where it's due. They got in, they got the first couple of kills. And the round again, just, they'd hit a brick wall. They'd hit that freezer, they couldn't get out of it. And I'm not going to say it was Dipsy's fault, because it wasn't. It was just they didn't have any control anywhere else. They lost that double door cover. They didn't have anyone push her in that whiskey side or that bakery side. They just got closed in on.
And I gotta give this one to Atox, right? It was precisely when he was able to respond so fastly to that vert attempt. He was able to defeat the opponent so fast, and to me, you know, that goes to show how much of work CrownZero needs to do on their attacking side, because even with the RAM, even with the information that they had, they were not able to surprise Ghost Army. Ghost Army was ready, was already waiting for them. So 2 new, and on the top of that, changing again the ops, we're gonna have a Mira, which is gonna increase their potential to also protect those rooms. It's gonna be cool to see. And CrownZero not able to offer some alternatives here, but they go for what you have asked before, meaning the potential
Bomb located
switch.
by attackers.
And maybe going for a demos. Let's see, they need to change things around.
10
And
seconds left.
again, the shield operator strategy doesn't help them much, apparently. Not today.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I appreciate Dipsy's going on to the capital. There is a warden, but
Are moving to defuse
you
the
know, there's only one warden.
Yeah.
I'm liking the mirror being brought out. It means this lane is a top floor hold until the last 30 seconds, and that's exactly how we're going to see Ghost Army play it. They've got the peaks all the way towards piano, all the way towards default, and then they can just drop down in the last 30 seconds. They lose top floor. It's not the end of the world then.
Right, as we see now, CrownZero, excuse me, coming from the top and try to go for the usual approach from the hatch. Also try to maybe open the lines from Ghost Army, who are so solid at this point, looking so you know, nicely put and knowing what they got to do. And I have a feeling that Ghost Army, they already sensed that CrownZero are not so confident on the bullet side of things, that, you know, that's preventing them from creating the numbers. So the battles are also usually coming for Ghost Army so far. And let's see how Flick's gonna be resisting with this demo here. Now the image of Tom's being showing, and he's smartly waiting for the moment. Mira also helping him with the Miro to give that you know, bulletproof information and side of line. So yeah, but as we speak, Dipsy proving his point, and you know, also kind of showing McCready, hey McCready, are you jinxing me? He was able to pick a kill with Capital.
Yeah, here's the thing. I like this. This is a good cutoff. We're seeing Fleece in a great position on white. It means that Tom is in a very tough spot to pull back. Yeah, they've made the pathing so they can. Future will get taken down on the white stairs, but it is still going to be difficult for these players to do exactly what they said and drop back. Fleece is rotated over. They have that Deimos information, which means they are now trying to get that kill off the back of it, trying to break things even. There's going to be the Habana pellets that are going to make it as easy as possible. Fleece jumps out, tries to shoot them, will find them, goes for the Habana as well, doesn't get it, but Tom's able to find skips as well. Ash taken off the board, and now the cutoff for Cocktail means that Atoms is not getting out of that top floor. There's Tom that finishes them off. But before they have, well, Nickit finishes them off, but before they have, Tom's walked over towards Pixel and found a kill of their own. Fleeks and Dipsy. Again, this round just seems to have slipped away. The drop in Skylight, and they need to get the case, but where did they go from here?
Yeah, looking very, very complicated for them, especially because, you know, you're facing a team that has like Atox, and suddenly if Atox dies, you have Toms. So it's like, you know, seriously guys, like, allow me something here, allow me some room to work, as they still got just 2 players down on life. Yusuke taking Fleek to the ground, and Dipsy's gonna be the last one alive. Him versus 3, it's tough, it's complicated. Yeah, let's see how tough that Capitan can be on his hands as he tries to come for the cover and back, and down he goes because Sanzo was ready to punish him. Amazing final bullet from the upper floor. Was an easy peek, to be honest, but yeah, again 3-0, that's what matters for Ghost Army, and they keep marching on.
Yeah, that's the thing there. I mean, we saw, yeah, Dipsy had a chance to do something. They were over towards the pillar stairs, but they didn't have case. They had 3 players. They knew what they were. They had the smokes, and that round was over. Again, it just comes down to that top floor hold. Ghost Army, they played it brilliantly. They played together. They had the escape routes plotted. Ghost Army, they didn't have an easy ride getting out there. CrownZero did make it difficult for them. They did put themselves in positions and had players in the right spots to make it as difficult as possible. I think they just came off at the wrong moment. I mean, they had a player Skylight, they had a player over towards the white stairs, and they had a player on the white window, and they struggled to push these players out of freezer.
Attackers have located a bomb.
It should have been arguably one of the simplest things in the world. The utility forces them out of bathroom into the freezer. Then the 2 players who are still covering that angle, whether it be the Cocktail or the Skyline player, they're able to cut them down then in the crossfire. Or vice versa. Any other direction, any other kind of configuration on how that goes would have been quite easy. But
5 seconds
CrownZero
left.
just kind of rotated it off. I mean, not to call out Zeeks, but they got a demo scan, and they went over to Skylight. They went off the angle they were holding, which was doing exactly that. And while that happened, players died.
You're right. The capacity of punishing is not there, especially with demos, and they should be able to make those executions. They should be able to catch some of the Ghost Army guys. It's not happening today. It's just not their game, and they're gonna have to fix this and improve sessions and talk better on stuff. As we have Tom, obviously already prepping the room and making that fast healing. We're gonna see how things are gonna roll. It's much of a slower round here. Now, round number 4, and our chat has the chance again to vouch from one of the sides and talk about the players, as we already see. Yeah, Brava, obviously, choking and playing with the gadgets and the stuff that she's got to do to get that intel. Future, obviously trying to resist and stay alive for a longer time, and the players a little bit, more onto the prep phase. Now we're gonna go into the action, as we're gonna see Flick again. Usually the first man to fall down on the side of CrownZero lately. Unfortunately for them, right? I know, and he's already the first one to take the first bullets. Flick, stay alive. Your team needs you.
CrownZero are dealing with a different setup entirely for this top floor again. Ghost Army have realized what CrownZero done on that last round and have adapted, and they have that piano hold now. They have the mirror on the board. They have these players underneath, and CrownZero have now gone for the piano take as well, which means they're going to be facing each other exactly where they expected to. I would have loved to see this cocktail take place now, but that's not going to be the case. Dipsy now will be bringing out the Cali. A lot of utility destruction on that Cali as well. You may not really want to be using that gun in a lot of these gunfights you're going to find yourselves up against on this map, but you're going to want to use that utility, and that secondary SMG can put a lot of work in it as well. Now, the util nade out to Pixel will force his player out, ideally, if you're on the side of CrownZero. Unfortunately, it seems to have just pulled out another player over towards them. The swing comes out, Tom does get down, but the Doc will be able to rise themselves. The call doesn't go out in time. Future's going to walk over, will be able to find a kill. It's going to be Dipsy getting one. The refrag does come through eventually from Tom, as the Doc has res themselves, but as Q goes down, it looks like CrownZero might pick up the first round on the board. They've done very well so far, and they've won out these gunfights. That was their win condition for me.
Absolutely, they finally understood that as Yasuki takes straps down. But yeah, it's cool to see how CrownZero, they're like speeding things up, because they felt that, okay, they have a Doc. If we just go too slow, they're gonna be able to get some healing, get back on track, and they did not allow Tom and Ghost Army to do that at this round, as they finally come to the scoreboard. So good effort, good combination of plays over here to go for the first one. CrownZero finally waking up. Now that's gonna be tricky for them. Is that gonna be enough? It's gonna be the beginning of a new cycle for them until Café Dostoyevsky. As Ghost Army, they're making the most they can on their defensive side, and yeah. From now to the flip of sides, that's what Ghost Army needs and wants to do. Like, keep piling up those rounds and still trusting on Doc, but now onto Yasuki's hand. So it's good to see also those changes on ops from player to player. Let's see how they're gonna play.
Exactly. Now, going down to this bottom floor, we saw again it was Freezer. That was where this team of Ghost Army really struggled, because they hit down that Freezer. They got the verticality. They had these players in the right positions. The verticality, when they went in for that execute, they just weren't able to win those fights. The question is, are they going to be able to do it this time? Dipsy again going on the Monty, not the Blitz this time. And I feel like after that round with the Cali, bringing out the util, getting those picks, I'm interested to see where they think the value is on this, because a Cali is still a really good pick. They could go aggressively for a site if they wanted to bring it on, if they wanted to try and go for it. But they're going to go for the Monty instead. They're not going to bring that Thatcher. They're not going to bring the Cali. They're going to have Dipsy, again, a gun off the board. CrownZero, they picked up their first round off the board. I'm hoping to see if they can get more wrong here. I do not want to see this going a 5-1 scoreline in favor of Ghost Army. Yeah. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility. We saw them do well on Chalet, which was a 7-3 victory. They just got away from them on the attack. They're doing a little bit better now, because they've actually got around this time lane.
Yeah, yeah, you can put it this way. I agree on that perspective. The thing is, Dipsy may be insisting on those operators on the shield ones. Maybe comes to show that he thinks he's getting and he's got his momentum. And I like how the team also maybe is passing him the confidence, right? Of saying, hey, try it again. You're gonna make it happen. You're
Yeah.
gonna be able to stay put and help us to be consistent into the attack, because that's what they need now. And they combine some of the ops that they had been struggling with, and I mean like demons and Ram, but
Yeah.
they bring all that with Monty and also Hibana and Buck could be the change. I don't know if we've seen him. I don't think we have on Chalet, obviously, and not now, but that's a cool change for them. A lot of breaching
Yeah.
power. That information has to be used fast enough like they did in the past round, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the Monty, and the thing is about these operators as well,
Right.
there's got to be a lot of support around it. They have to be focusing around this Monty, and that's what I don't think we've seen so far. So as long as they realize, okay, we need to rally around Dipsy. Dipsy isn't going to be getting these kills on the Monty. How can they? They have a
Right.
shield. Their whole role is intel gathering. This is what they need to be doing. They need to be coordinated. They need to be working with them. Gibbs is going to be able to find that first kill, will take down Q, and as a result, that verticality is just going to be even easier on the attacking side. That Goyo, yes, that vector's off the board, the utility's all down, but that's an ACOG vector taken away. Atox has an answer, though, finds that Damus and wins that gunfight. And let's be honest, how many times have we said Atox is going to win that gunfight?
No, I know. Yeah, and yeah, Itax again being the decider. Like this guy, he changes the landscapes, because
Yeah.
whenever he's able to pick the kill, apparently Ghost Army also responds well to that on the follow-up moments. And I like how Yasuki now is playing, obviously, the role of healing the guys. And as I said, when you bring a dog, you offer your team a long-standing kind of composition. That's what they're doing. He was able to also heal attacks, and it's gonna increase the challenge for CrownZero. Zero now, as we have been mentioning, repeatedly,
15
typically not.
left.
Yes, we have like 15 seconds stand now, Tom, taking future. Let's see how that's gonna roll. Sunzo also putting the bullets out there, and it's gonna be Nikki versus 4 guys. He's gonna be able to do something. Time is up. Defenders taking this one. Obviously, it was gonna be impossible for him to respond. McCready, one more for Ghost Army.
Yeah, very, very well played there for Ghost Army. Very happy with how I saw that get in play, because we saw the Kado towards Royce. They were sat prone, they were sat behind that desk. The Monty Dipsy got in, was starting to get that pressure and was able to apply it. But the play was down prone. They couldn't move forward. They couldn't go through a plan because they knew the Cade was there. In the same vein, they couldn't put the pressure onto Cade because they knew there was a player over towards the bomb chassis. It was a really good crossfire from Ghost Army. CrownZero, again, they needed to be supporting Dipsy around that. If they're going to put Dipsy on the Monty and get them pushed to sight like that, that's well done. They need to be able to support it. There might not have been a nade in the pocket. There might not have been somebody able to just drop down and help out. But that is the reason Dipsy had nothing they could do in that situation. And as a result, there's no, that was it. They couldn't do anything. The rest of the team couldn't get around to support them. It was all down to Nikki in that 1 versus 3, at least. Maybe a 1v4. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I mean, at that point, just drop it down the hatch. It's not going to happen, even if you have the time on the board. It was really CrownZero's enemy, which we saw quite a couple of times, actually, on Chalet, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And, on the side of CrownZero, what strikes me is like, all right, you don't need to kill entirely the shield operator's strategy. You can just maybe go for a change, as of like offering potentially future, offer someone else the chance to lead the charge. Maybe someone else is, today is feeling, more up to that task of and that responsibility of, tank the damage and not fall so fast on the first seconds. But on the side of Ghost Army, we see also some changes. We have been seeing this rotation from the dock. I like to see that from Tom to Yasuki, and let's see what they're going to be playing now with this IQ, with the Solis, excuse me.
Oh yeah, I would quite like to see actually the Blackbeard coming out again, because that does solve a lot of the problems that we saw Dipsy having in situations they couldn't really do anything more. With Blackbeard, the whole operator isn't about the shield. They have the gun, they have the nades, they have a lot of util to work with. If they're picking a Monty or a Blitz, it's very focused on the shield. The whole identity is there for it. A Blitz allows you to operate a little bit. A Bandit Blackbeard, sorry, allows you to operate a little bit more independently. Regardless, though, that's not the case we're going to find ourselves in. We're going to find CrownZero going with what works on this attacking side. Tom, however, is going to be able to find a gunfight and takes down the Ash. That's the Ash taken off the board. Future goes on that white repel to get the crossfire, will find the refrag, and takes control of that Pixel position. Yes, Yusuke's in bathroom, but if they want to contest Pixel properly in the way that Tom was doing it, and the way you need to do it, they're going to struggle to do that. They are going to struggle to get to that spot. And again, CrownZero are finding these key positions that they need to be in to cut these players off. That's what I want to see from them. I want to see this continue as they start making their entry onto site.
Right, and it's their chance now with Future going for a second pick and also stepping up and helping the team to keep things into control as Ghost Army have one man down and they're gonna have to defend now as we see Nikki taking the information, taking their time, you know, working angles, working with the information that they got. We see Atox also killed, having a chance to look at into that window and getting into more of a defensive spot as he was kind of surprised, and it's almost 2 men down here. Tough spot for Ghost Army as the second's gonna go for less than a minute.
As Solus and Mute are still on the board. C4 in pocket. Solus able to call these plans to go down with 30 seconds left on the clock. They don't need to take that vertical, but they're going to try anyway. This Dipsy and Fleece are going to shut it down. CrownZero able to win out another attacking round on that top floor. It's what they needed. They knew that play was going to be down, but that was very well played. A much needed round for CrownZero as they go onto the defense, and we can only hope that this is the turning point for CrownZero. They get on the defense, that's all they need. They're locked in, baby. They know exactly how they're going to play this. But it does worry me, Lane. And I'm going to come back to this. This is something we talked about on Chalet. This is CrownZero's map. They should know. They should have a little bit more about attacking it. They should know how to defend it, yeah. There's got to be a little bit more on that attacking side for me.
Attackers need to locate.
No, I agree with you. They need to show more. And let's see how they're gonna do that defending, and maybe that will be their, you know, their strong card here. I don't know, Mosey. Let's see, Mosey. We got an interesting composition on both sides, and you know, from the last rounds, we could see that Ghost Army, you know, they know how to play the game. Even like with 1 man down, they still keep the mindset. They still can resist. We're able to push CrownZero away. CrownZero, they had the chance to speed things up whenever they took one of the first players on Ghost Army's side, but that was not the case. But now looking into this moment, yeah, it's a matter of Ghost Army, you know, keep locking it up and keep pushing the game away from CrownZero's grasp and control, because CrownZero, they're not finding the sequence, right? What is fair to be told is Ghost Army were able to create 3 rounds in a row onto Chalet, and that has not happened yet for CrownZero. They're not able to keep the mentality onto a place where they can keep building with patience, you know, without falling down to occasions and to circumstances.
And this is where I expect to see things turn around. I expect to see them go into the defense, get confident, and say, this is our time. This is how we're going to win it. This is our map. We know what we're doing. We are here for a reason. And at the moment, that's what I want to see. That's what I'm expecting to see. I haven't seen anything that should prove to me otherwise. Right now, though, Future will be going in. They are aware that these players are roaming around. They are trying to get the clear out, and they will drone them out. Future about to go up those white stairs. Isn't going to do that because they saw the yellow from the white window was open. Instead, took a gunfight with Atox. Atox finding the opening pick. He's with that Mozzie. Now, Nicket's figuring out the clash. This on the top floor site is a lot more fun for me in terms of concept as a Blitz or a Monty, because of the time that it can waste. It slows those attackers down, very difficult to clear out because it has that full body shield, just like a Monty, but it feels just as fluid as a Blitz. Intel will go out. You'll be relying a lot more on these Capital bots to deal with these players and with this clash so that they can go for this execute. Half the round's ticked up already then, and there's no real entry onto site aside from having Sinzu downstairs and looking to take them off the board. Really strong chance to maybe deal with Clash if they're able to, but at the moment it's going to be Fleeks. The information comes out, the kill comes out from Yusuke. 3 players on defense remaining, and as Sinzu finds another one, Dipsy's going to fall. It's going to be Nikki and Scripps all down there lonesome as a Clash is able to find 1 kill. The down comes out from the Frost. Nikki finds another one. Looks for the player towards white, but the scan comes out from Deimos. They know where they are. The pink comes out. The kill follows, and the top floor goes in favor of Ghost Army.
And a lot happening on on many spots of the map. It's interesting to say that he was a very distracting kind of composition by Ghost Army, right? Whenever you have like
Yeah.
Grim, you also have Capitan, so it's a lot of simulation to deal with, and CrownZero are just not able to respond to that, even though they had Clash, like you pointed out. So it was not enough for him for them to to manage. They couldn't just look at it all and try to find a way to attack back onto Ghost Arm's side. So cool effort by Ghost Arm. Almost a flawless
Attackers need
round.
to locate and
So
defuse
cool
as
for
many
them
bombs as
to
they
be
can.
able to also execute very well that Black Beard on the hands of Etox. He was the first one to take the kill, and that goes to show how freshly balanced the operator is at these times. It's good to see him back to the game, and yeah,
Bomb
CrownZero
located by
now,
attackers.
looking far away from a potential, reverse of expectations here, because it's gonna be complicated for them. No matter what they do now, it seems the confidence is low, and it seems they just need to talk, and get repairing sessions after this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest
10
with you as well
seconds
here.
to insertion.
They
Yeah.
didn't win that top floor, and now they're 5-2. I don't
5
think going up
seconds
here
to
is the
go.
right play. I feel like they should say,
Mm.
it didn't work, we don't really have the time and grounds to work with,
Attackers
let's head down
objective
below,
is to
let's try
defuse the
something
bomb.
different. Because right now they're going in with the mindset of, we've just lost this round, we need to be better, we need to improve how we're going to do this. They're opting for a change in strategy, which I like. A lot more Goyo usage, a lot more barricades. They're not bringing out that clash. They're going a lot more on the information for themselves as opposed to info denial, like the Mobby. I still feel like going down below. You know what? Taking a look at it, I'm going to take that back. I feel like they've got something that's different enough they can go into it confidently. But then they going downstairs would have the same benefit as well. Thing is, Ghost Army very confident because they've just won that round. They did so in a very strong way. They're going to pretty much stick to what they did before. They're going to have that player maybe go in below, not the Deimos on this occasion, but somebody put that pressure down below. Start trying to go through the roam clear, start trying to get people who might be trying to play off these valve cameras, like Scopes down below. And with a minute off the clock, as you see that vert there, that could be a beautiful kill if it comes through. And the ping just needs to follow from Nikki down below. The ping just needs to follow. The C4 would go out. It's not going to happen just yet. It's going to go out to Minibar. Finds Yasuki. Does a lot of damage to Tom, but doesn't find the second kill. But that doesn't matter because Future's there to get it.
Yes, that was, yeah, nice composure by them, and waiting also on some big pocket situations and fights coming from Ghost Army side, and they're not going to look so bright at this one. Let's see if you still stand a chance. Tox is gonna be the guy to give him a chance, especially because of his kid. He's rotating, trying to check the angles, trying to do those elbow movements, and checking on the stairs as well. But they gotta stick together. And that's the moment where they're gonna need to fight together, I would say. Attacks now having to get back as we move into the final minute of the round, and CrownZero looking so strong. I was just gonna point out. Oh, never mind. Yeah, there she goes. Oh my god.
Oh, that's horrible. 50 seconds left on the bar, and look at the health in the favor of Gridlock there. That's not good, Lane. We're hitting that last 50 seconds. The util has to go out. The push has to start taking place. The verticality, you can't really use it now. Unless Future finds one kill, Dipsy finds another. The Ryan's possibly on the wall here. So the defenders go upstairs, and Bleaks finds that kill.
Flawless. Yeah, that's the comp in execution as well. Cool job. Yeah, 3 rounds. Let's see if that's gonna lead them somewhere. Still, looking into the series, but cool choices, cool picks, and finally finding a way. And I was gonna point out that yes, moving away from the shield operators strategy seems to do them well, because they have tried today. All of them have tried Clash and Multi and Blitz,
Yeah.
and just need to shuffle things around and try something different. And it worked out for them nicely in this occasion. 5-3, interesting game, following the same standard that we saw on Chalet, right? But let's see if Ghost Army is gonna be as decisive and as strong to just go for the 7-3.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that CrownZero, this is the turning point. They're going down to that bottom floor again. I feel like they've got a bit of potential here. What they've got now is they've got a very wide setup, and this is what a lot of teams will tend to opt for, Lane, because there's a lot of verticality on CAF. It's a key thing that you cannot ignore as an attacking side, is that verticality. So as a result, as a defender, you need to find these positions where you can still cover the same angles and still apply the same amount of pressure. but without exposing yourself massively enough. A couple of those positions are Bakery, Red Stairs, and that BMP side. You can't get vertical, you can't get soft reach above you, which means there's one less dimension to worry about up and ahead of you. There's long angles that can be set up, and the operators that CrownZero brought really do benefit it. They've got the Vector, they've got the K to TCSG, and they've got the SMG coming out from the Frost. Really weapons that all have an ACOG and all excel at that range and can hold their own with the best of them. Now, on the side of Ghost Army, the shield will come out, maybe a little bit of shift in their route, because they have the smokes, they have the flashes, and they have prep open. Skips will win that gunfight, though, maybe putting a little bit of a stick in the mud there as the small bake player gets taken down. That means they're going to move towards Bakery. The attackers are going to get stalled out. A minute ticking off the clock, the attackers not really wanting to get in on site because they realized that CrownZero are here to play, and hell, Dipsy is as well.
Wow, yeah, that was very good by CrownZero. Also on like keeping them away and out, and also Army going for the glass strategy. Also naturally kept them out of the rooms and the spots. And yeah, this is daunting. This is just sad. Tom's just the last one alive here. They're gonna almost use this as a tactical pause or as a talking moment because Tom, yeah, I mean he still can technically obviously take all the guys down. But yeah, just almost tough. Almost impossible from a Nash perspective.
In the situation he's finding himself in, yeah, with knocking around left, it's not going to happen. So let's talk about what has happened so far. That round was shut down very quickly. Ghost Army very much faced the same issue that CrownZero did on their attack. They stalled out. This is where I said a coordinated and concise team on the defense can make it so punishing for an attacking team that is not prepared. And that's exactly what we've seen. They've really struggled, Ghost Army, on this last couple of rounds to actually make something useful. Yes, they won that first sight, but it's not happened. And now Tom is, like you say, he has the chance, he has the potential, and has the skill to do it. The question is it going to happen? Does he have the time? Does he have the util? Does he know that there's frost mats behind this bakery door? With 40 seconds left, the defenders, they're going to be walking towards them. And with the smoke canisters coming out, it's probably not going to happen. We'll go for the reload. We'll go towards prep, just see if something can happen. No verticality. Oh well, we'll try and take a gunfight. Takes a bit of damage. They know what's going to happen. 30 seconds, has to jump over. Finds one player, a future. The player over towards Small Bake is there to pinch him out. They realize that that player's over there. But when they're focusing on Small Bake, they're not focusing on sight. Which means as they look away this second, the swing will most likely come up. Fleets with that SMG. Finds a kill, ends that round. And that is a very clean round from CrownZero again. Really just being a brick wall that they've run up against so much in the last couple of rounds.
Precisely, and it took a long time as well to finish this one off and finally get able to take Tom down, as we see some of the numbers of these guys future leading the pack on the side of CrownZero, 10-6, and then Ghost Army has a more balanced amount of kills, showing that the team maybe is having a more synergic movement effort here, or pattern, if you will. But good job all in all. CrownZero getting back to the game, and Ghost Army getting stuck, if we can put it this way. The game was looking too easy, almost too easy for them, as we had like 4-2 and then suddenly a 5-4, excuse me. So yeah, kind of a dramatic ending here for Ghost Army, showing maybe some issues or a lack of focus. But then CrownZero is just using that, is capitalizing on that. They got nothing to do with how much Ghost Army is cohesive now, or united into that goal.
Yeah. I feel like the big thing is CrownZero taking this time to just say, right, okay, guys, we're getting back into this now. We're going to head up to this top floor, and didn't go well the first time. So we're going to see what can we do on this one. How are we going to deal with it? We're still bringing that clash. It went wrong in a lot of ways in that first round on that top floor. What is the way to go through? I think a timeout here is a nice idea. On the flip side, though, it does also give Ghost Army that opportunity. They can talk about what they're going to do. They know it's going to be top floor because they've just lost the basement. They've just lost kitchen, reading and dining, sorry. So now they're going to go up. They're going to say, how are we going to deal with this clash above? How are we going to deal with these players? Are we going to stick with the same thing we did before? Pretty much with the operators they've got in the lineup. But for me, that Deimos is taken off the board. They've realized, I think, maybe the Valkyrie and the potential of a Valkyrie coming out is where we're seeing the Bravo, because we saw a couple of kills really come out all about the util. That's all it was. Just util coming out, getting kills for the sign of CrownZero and Ghost Army falling out to it. So they might be trying to counter that. That Mozzie again will be trying to deal with a lot of drones, put some pressure on the Roman. In the hands of the future, realistically, that P10 Romy, you cannot count it out no matter what.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
I agree, and it's cool. It's just a matter of like being able to distract CrownZero as much as they can, right? Like they did before. Ghost Army, they brought almost the same composition we're seeing now. So I'm eager to see how the Capital and Graham are gonna take CrownZero away from their focus once more, if that's ever happening. Ghost Army facing themselves in a moment now where they need to be effective, also with the Kali on their hands, and obviously the Brava. So let's see how that's gonna happen. That's gonna, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. I think Ghost Army feeling so close to the victory, but then needing to work harder because CrownZero offering them a bigger challenge. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, exactly. Now, CrownZero on their defense are going to be doing exactly what we saw in their first defensive round. They're going to be shutting off that piano, Ghost Army's defensive side, sorry. They're going to be shutting off that piano side and just letting the Clash play that. Now, as well as that, with those Mozzies below, this means that verticality is going to be very difficult to get, especially in the late end game. So if they do start getting a plant down, CrownZero can drop low, and they do have at least one player with a C4 able to put pressure on it. And the attackers might not even know about that because they might not want to put those drones in those spots. Util towards Pixel is going to get cleared out. The air jab will follow, and as a result, it means Nikit's not going to have as easy a time to play. But with Future downstairs, again, those Mozzie pests going to make it very difficult for any flank drones to be watching this. Ipsy's going to drop as well, maybe to make some verticality for them to use, or maybe just to rotate to a little bit of a safer spot. If they go in through this piano side, Ghost Army, you have a little bit to lose here with that C4 and with that Clash, with that constant information. If they go for somewhere else, if they go for this heaven, if they go for Cocktail, they might have an opportunity late.
Let's see how that's going to play out. Atox, again, the man to lead the kills. And we can see them spread away from the entrances, but now Yasuki managing to take this one against Fleek. Nice first bullet. Let's see now Atox. Again, very precise. That's the bullet he was searching for. Versus Future, very nice pick. That's gonna offer them a nice edge. A very nice cushion here. As Scraps though responds versus Yasuki, he was able to take him down. Let's see Deepsy trying to offer and show quality, show work. Nikit and Scraps 4v2, and that's Sanzo to take Deepsy down. 3v2. Oh my God, CrownZero responding and resisting very nicely. As Scraps gonna be the last man to tell the story versus Q and Atox.
Yes, on this white stairs. Attackers know exactly where they are because that kill did come out onto Tom. The problem with this now is with a plant that's going to start going down very, very soon. This means it's now 1 versus 1, but the air jabs there going to force this player into these positions they do not want to be in. And as a result, Q is going to find a kill and puts us onto match point and series point for round 1, match 2 of ESA Season X and Lane X. I feel like CrownZero, they need to step this up.
Oh yeah,
one more round.
Oh my God, man,
they've done good, but they need to just a little bit more.
Can they do something here, right? That's the major question. I would say these guys, they're deserving an overtime. I'm gonna just put it out there, to the universe. I think they're doing such a better job in the end of the map, especially compared to Chalet. Now resisting, still offering a lot of challenge and making things tougher for Ghost Army. But Ghost Army coming for this match point and using all of those ops again. They're so much used to using the util and the intel side of things, as you have been frequently bringing out, and that's what they need to do. Ghost Army just need to do what they're strong at, meaning going for a longer round, but also going for the bullets if they have to, because CrownZero, they sometimes struggle with that. But let's see, the round has to speak for itself. It's a 6-4 and everything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
10 seconds.
Ghost Army, they need to do this. They need to win out this round. It's just that simple. CrownZero, a perfect game, like you say, is needed, Lane. And as a result, that means they can't afford to make any mistakes. So they're gonna go to the site, which they didn't really. They didn't really make any mistakes. They had the verticality, they had the information, they used it. and they were able to really shut down a round, and Ghost Army had no real answer for it. Thing is, Sun Tzu will go in, get a lot of utility already with the switch to pop a lot of these Goyo barricades. That's a key thing. The Brava getting a lot of the information as well. Leading very nicely into this Valkyrie pick, taking away not the default cam, but also the Valk cam. And that means the defenders have a choice. They have to shoot this utility. They can't afford not to. The thing is, they're also going to give away their position by doing that. Whether they shoot it or whether they leave it, their position gets taken away. It's just the late round that's going to be different.
Right, in the middle and the late portions, right? Especially as you said, Brava being able to do all the capture and collection of intel is gonna play a role versus CrownZero, and now it's down to the execution. Let's see how they're gonna do that. As we already take a look into a Tox POV, we rotate to Nikit. Again, defending from the below and see who's gonna come and check onto that floor, because information is gonna play an essential role here. Bullets as well. It's the defining moment. Dipsy taking a Tox. That was a very good one for them, but the response came fast. As Sanzo already responded, quick enough.
Yeah, it's a refrag coming out, but Sinzu is not happy with that. We'll be able to find a kill on the Fleeks. And now Yasuki pressuring Piano isn't able to find a shot of Future. But that isn't saying it's not going to happen. We'll be shooting that Frostman, making sure that doesn't happen again. Need to be aware of the other one. That probably a Freezer. That's not going to be Yasuki's problem. Future finding that kill will pick them off. A 3 versus 3. A very tight round here, but Tom's able to get that kill back and goes to Army's favor. Hit in that with a hip fire? Future has a refrag onto Sinza, but they know where they are now. And with a minute left, they have to take the verticality to stop this plank going down. That plan is going to go down, however. And right now, you have Tom and you have Q, two players that are doing incredible work, not just on this map, but on Chalet as well. And realistically, can it be done? Future, the big fragging player for the side of CrownZero. 30 seconds left.
I was going to say that. It had to be him, the last man to potentially believe in something for CrownZero. Him versus 2. It's Q and Toms. Let's see who's going to be stronger now. Future moving slowly. He was not able to stay alive. He was the guy to bring this one up. What a bullet. It was fast to the side. He didn't hesitate. And just like that, we see a victory on the side of Ghost Army. 7-4. Almost the same story, right, Marquetti, compared to Chalet? Yeah. If you take a look at the numbers, right, if you don't see the game, you're just going to think, oh, it was almost the same. It was not. It was a better chapter here. I think Cafe added so much to this story, and I love to cast this one.
That's the thing. That's the thing for me as well, because realistically, that was such a tight game. And I think you said it. They deserved overtime. They at least deserved a couple more rounds on Chalet. Overtime should have happened, realistically. We saw some really good moments, especially in that last game. The gunfights picked up. That was the one thing we really said that they needed to improve if they wanted to go toe-to-toe. And they did. They answered in a very strong way. And it wasn't just Future, because Dipsy, after all of the shield slander we gave them, did start picking up. They got off those shields and they were picking up heads. And they were playing so well. It doesn't feel like a 2-0 in my heart lane, but that is the score. And that means that it is going to be Ghost Army joining Molotov Gang in that top bracket there of the 1-0 victors so far. But like we said, CrownZero, there's still a lot of opportunities to go from here, because that wasn't bad at all. They get in, they play like that for the rest of the season. They play maybe a little bit better. They can still qualify quite easily.
I would say so. I think they got room to expand and to get better. There's nothing to be said about. I would say it's more about adjusting some points and some elements. Overall, the team, offered a nice challenge. They knew what to do. I would say more into the defensive side and then the attacking one. But then the attacking can also be adjusted. And they have a good squad. These guys are good. They know how to pick. They know how to fight. The bullets is there. But it's just a matter of working and progressing over the season to face better occasions and better matches. But yeah, like I said, and like you said as well, actually, it was not a 2-0 in my heart as well. I'm gonna go with that. But that's what happened, because hey, in the end of the day, someone needs to win, and that's what Ghost Army did.
Exactly. And like you say, when they will, a 2-0 victory for themselves. Well, not in my heart. It is that on paper, and that is how it's going to be. So as we start looking towards the next couple of days, tomorrow we have MG Aspire going up against Team Sync, and that is going to be a very exciting game. I do love watching the MG teams play. and everyone that goes up against them do tend to put up a good fight. So make sure you do not miss that, because it'll be the same channel, same time, and it will be there right for you. Lane, before we head out, is there anything else you want to say?
Just want to say thank you for the partnership. It was amazing to cast with you, and say thank you again to ESA Cup. It's great to learn from these players and to keep bringing emotions and creating narratives. So it was great, and see you guys again soon.
Beautifully put. Huge shout out to our observers, our admins, and our players and our producers, as well as our players. Oh Hot Knox and Unnamed Gamer, making it absolutely beautiful what you see on the screen. We are going to be heading out. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Don't go anywhere.